Hi and welcome to my video. I'm going to show you today how to go about painting a glass vase, and this should be a nice easy way for you to be able to learn how to handle the paint and get a great result. So I began by painting my background with blue. You can choose any dark colour that you prefer. One side is slightly lighter on the right, as you can see, and it graduates to dark on the opposite side. Using lots of looking time at the vase that I'm trying to do a painting of, I'm just starting by beginning to mark out the outline of the glass vase in some white, titanium white, which has been watered down slightly. I'm going to be using some oil paint to do this, but you can equally do that with acrylic paint as well. Just make sure that your white is not too strong at this point. You're aiming to get a ghosted outline before you are confident that the shape that you've drawn is completely accurate. Now, another colour that's really important is a very dark background colour. You can see here it's almost a black shade that I'm putting in, but it's blending in with that colour that's behind the vase, the blue. It's really important that you blend it in, but it helps you crisp up all your edges. So the dark blue that I'm adding just takes the edge off the highlights that I've put in and sharpens everything. When you're painting glass, the sharp outlines are really important to get nice and crisp. So by going back over your white outlines with a dark shade, you can really achieve that well. I'll also be using some dark paint in the base of the vase as well to help with the shape and help it stand out from the background. But whatever colour you use, it's got to be the same colour, only a dark version of your background colour, whether that be dark brown or black or whatever you use. It's got to be blended in so that you can barely see it, and then you'll achieve a really nice glassy effect. So I'm just looking carefully now to see if there are any colours reflected in the glass, and I just want to just blend those softly into some of my highlighted areas so that you begin to develop a range of highlights which go from dark to light. I happened to notice that there was a sort of a soft yellowy shade reflected into the shape of the vase. So this is what I've been adding here. So this faint yellowy tone is just a reflection from the goblet which is nearby the glass vase. So now you have created some mid-tone highlights so that are quite soft. You're ready to start adding pure titanium white onto the areas which you really want to show the light sparkling. And that will really help to crisp everything up. So you've created a range of tones now, from very dark to very light. The darker the inside of the vase is, the better it will look when you put on your highlights on the round base of the vase. The direction of your highlights is important. Make sure you do lots of looking at the shape of them and get those really accurate. Just little odd curves here and there with the highlights help to create the nice round shape that you're trying to go for. So as you're working now, I'm kind of happy with the round shape of the vase's body, but now we need to work on the base. And I'm just looking really carefully to try and get an oval shape drawn into the background so that the shape of the outline corresponds to any other ellipses or curves that I've also got in the vase. Just going to use the palette knife here just to work in some of the brightest tones. The palette knife's great for building up the paint so that there's no opacity, which is what you don't want now. So it's the sharpest little sparkles now with the palette knife that I'm putting in. Just keep looking and trying to get your vase looking as symmetrical as you can. I've used a little bit of dark blue with a touch of purple in it to get that very dark shade that I've just added, and then I can blend that into the background as I'm working. But you can just use a little bit of a dark blue if that's what you're doing your background in, to get the shapes nice and curved, and just keep on building up into the base of the vase, that roundness. So you're not just using curves with your highlights, you're even putting dark curves in with the dark paint as well. If you noticed, all the brush strokes I'm using are following the surface shape that I'm trying to create the illusion of. I hope you've enjoyed my video, and you've learnt a little bit more about how to paint glass, and I hope I've managed to show to you how easy it can be to paint a glass vase, especially if it's as dusty as the one that I've been trying to paint. Yes, it's all a matter of different reflections and getting the shape of them about right in order to achieve a good effect. So happy painting. I'm off for a cup of tea now, and see you all soon.